vision. Thy will be done. Thy will be done on Shalom in his own constitutions. Thy will be done.
Hey y'all, welcome to my first vlog of 2019. I was just gonna say, I really have no excuse, but I just kind of feel life has definitely been taking its toll on both my husband and I. We've just been super busy with our jobs and our careers and slowly but surely trying to transition into our new home. But I've also, in these, just quiet moments with God, over these past months, I feel like I've just been doing this with God and really just kind of going back and forth on what is my first topic of the new year going to be. And I felt that I've been doing this with God since March. And here we are in the month of June, almost to July. And I feel if I continue to do that with God, it would probably be like December of 2019 and I wouldn't have had anything to share because out of my own selfishness, I'm trying to work on this thing called grace, not perfection. And so I feel that's definitely something I feel is like a daily accessory for all of us girls and for all of us women is to just really rely on God's grace and mercy for us. And I feel that's, our way when we wake up every day, we receive God's grace and mercy is what helps us to continue to move forward. And it just reminds us who we are in the eyes of Christ and, not comparing ourselves to other women, to other girls, to other mothers, and, just really finding the joy and the talents and the passions that God has instilled in us from the moment that we were born. And so I feel that's just really important, and it's definitely something that I've fallen short on too. Again, life has just been this race. Again, just both Spencer and I have been hitting the ground hard, just running and, just really trying to find these times of calmness and, just resting and regrouping and to also just really reflect on God and, just the challenges that we face day in and day out. And so with that note, I am so excited to just finally, kind of a bittersweet vlog topic and, just releasing a little mental prayer right now. So there may or may not be tears. So if you could just all bear with me. I will actually, my plan is to have posted this vlog when I'm up in the air heading back home to California to visit family. This actually wasn't scheduled. I guess you can say it wasn't planned for me to post this vlog while I'm on my way home to California. So June 30th, 2017 was one of the hardest days of my life. I had an early miscarriage 2 years ago on June 30th, 2017. So I really just found this inspiration. I feel like there's been so many moments where God was just really putting this in front of me, giving me, just really putting attention to it to have me share it. And I just really wanted to first thank my friend Amy. I used to work with her at PVH out in New York City, and she's just a firm believer in Christ and just so loving and just so nurturing and just such a great encourager. And she's actually the inspiration, and her beautiful daughter Clea, she's also a new mom and she delivered a baby girl in March, which I'm so thankful and so blessed that I got to meet baby Clea and just really see this, my beautiful friend Amy, being a mom and just having this great conversation of miscarriage and early miscarriages and how a lot of women, this happens a lot, sadly, but I feel there's not really an outlet, or like a comfortable place for a woman to talk about miscarriages. And so again, I'm just so thankful for the inspiration behind it, and also to Nikki Bell. She actually had commented on a picture that I posted last year. I had posted a picture of me taking a selfie. It was right before I got the blood results from the doctor. And again, I don't want to go too much into the story because as I'm telling my story of my early miscarriage, I don't want to kind of spoil anything, but I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Nikki Bell for, again, I felt like God just really used you to reach out to me to say, Melody, you need to share your story. And so I guess here I open up. I feel that God, we go through things. Let me just start off with that. We go through things, and I know some of us, we're so mad at God, and why does that have to happen that way? And one thing that I love, the church that I go to, Pastor J.D. Greer from the Summit, is he had preached a sermon on God wants us to go to him angry. He wants us to go to him sad. He wants us to rejoice him. He wants us to praise him, even in our most feeble moments. And I feel many of you out there have gone through so much, you know, whether good or bad or hurtful or painful. It is definitely what our story and what our testimony is going to be. It's going to be able to help and encourage people out there who have gone through what we've gone through. And there's been numerous times where, yeah, even in my faith, I question my faith. Lord, like, why would you allow me to go through such things? And but at the same time, you know what, God picks us up from the ashes. He dusts us off, and he reminds us that we have all been designed for a purpose and a plan in our lives. And with that said, I'm just to continue to just kind of, I feel like I'm like kind of getting away from the story, but at the same time, I'm just, you know, really want to, I guess, speak on the realm of the testament behind my story, so to speak. So yeah, let's just get to it. So a few weeks prior to June 17th, I had really irregular periods. They were extremely heavy. I was extremely exhausted all the time. I mean, all the time. Even when I go and take a nap on my lunch breaks, I would just still feel extremely exhausted. And I remember the day before June 30th, I was sleeping on the couch and I had cradled my stomach because it was in so much pain. But the way I was cradling it, it was like I was pregnant. But again, I didn't really put two and two together until after what had happened to me. So I stayed the night at a friend's house near Central Park, and it was the day before Spencer and I were going to go to Florida. So June 30th, Friday morning, friend and I woke up, and my friend had asked me, are you still going to go to urgent care before you and Spencer leave for Florida? And I said, you know what, I'm fine, because what had been happening was around the time when I was getting my periods, I was getting extremely bad stomach pains. They weren't cramps, they were just really bad, intense stomach pains throughout the weeks for the last few months. And so they had just kind of hit me, you know, off and on in waves. And my friend Laura had, you know, encouraged me to go to urgent care. I said, you know what, I'm not having those bad stomach pains. Like, I don't want to deal with the copay and like all this insurance stuff. So, you know, I'm fine. I'll bear the pain. If I need to take Tylenol or whatever, I will on the trip. But she was just such a great friend and really encouraging, and said, you know what, Mel Bells, like, I'm worried about you, so I really think you should, you know, go to the doctor. So I obeyed my friend's orders. And I went to urgent care. They made me take a urine sample. The nurse had asked me if I, you know, thought I was pregnant. I said, of course not. You know, I've had, 2 extremely heavy periods and these really bad lower abdominal pains, you know, and I just told her, I just think my periods are just off, or maybe I'm off, or maybe I'm stressed out. I don't know what the case was. So the doctor had came in and he had asked me the same questions. I'm like, doctor, I told your nurse, like, I'm not pregnant. I've had these 2 irregular periods, yada, yada, yada. And he had said, well, Melanie, your urine sample is showing me that you're pregnant. And I'm just like in denial, like trying to process all this, because I'm like, if I've had periods and I've had these bad stomach pains, hence what I thought originally they were cramps, I was just, again, like, it was hard for me to process. I was in denial, but then there was like this little bit of me who was trying to rejoice. And, you know, just what I like to say on cloud 10, closer to heaven. And so the doctor at urgent care had said, Melanie, if you can please go to the hospital as soon as possible so they could take, you know, more blood samples. I said, of course, doctor. So I left, and I was just like extremely super nice to like the nurse staff, like, you know, wishing them a great day and a great weekend, and doing the same thing with the patients that are in the lobby, and then just having this like singing in the rain type of moment. And so I got in the car and I'm like in tears and trying to hold my composure, and I call my husband Spencer and I tell him the good news. He didn't give me the reaction that I wanted. He said, I just want you to go to the hospital just to make sure. And I was just upset with him, like, how dare you take this moment away from us? And so I'm on my way heading up to Connecticut. It's one thing, I fell in love with the state of Connecticut more than I fell in love with living in New York. So I went to Connecticut, you know, checked in. They had to take some blood from me, and one of my first, I guess, little procedures was they wheeled me into the ultrasound room, and he had, you know, done ultrasound on me, and he said, Melanie, I'm sorry, but it doesn't look like, I don't see anything, so I don't believe you're pregnant. So I'm just like, okay, the doctor at urgent care like a few hours ago has said I was pregnant, so I'm like just trying to process everything. So then these tears started coming down, and the doctor had been crunching numbers, or the ultrasound technician had been crunching numbers, and he said, oh wait, I'm sorry. So on a scale from 5 through 50, it'll tell me if you're pregnant, and it looks like your rate is 7. So I'm sorry, it looks like you are pregnant, but if you can do me a favor, in a few weeks, come and check and we'll see if your number has gone up. And so I'm just like crying, but again, I'm just like, a few minutes ago he said I wasn't pregnant, and so it was really just these hours of Friday, June 30th, 2017 of me just getting bounced around like a basketball. I am pregnant, I'm not pregnant, now I'm pregnant again. So he had mentioned, until we get those blood test samples back from the doctor, we'll go from there. And I just thanked him, and he's wheeling me back, to my room, and I'm, in these hallways, and I just remember like just rejoicing, and just like having these tears flood down my face of knowing and realizing like, oh my gosh, like mine and my husband's lives are going to change for the better. And again, I was just on cloud 10 closer to heaven. So before the doctor came in with my blood results, I had taken a picture. I'm not a selfie type of person, but I took a picture. There was no one there to take a picture for me. So I had all these tubes on my arm, and I took this selfie, and I wanted to smile because I wanted to go back on that moment, knowing that whatever happens, I'm going to trust in Jesus. I'm going to trust his plans for me, and that my hope is going to be anchored in him. And so sure enough, minutes later, I think an hour later, the doctor comes in, had the worst bedside manners ever, and just told me I had an early miscarriage, and this stuff happens all the time. He didn't apologize, and then he brought up his wife and how she had a miscarriage, and I'm just like, again, trying to process everything, because 4.5 hours ago, I went from I was pregnant, then later on to saying I wasn't, then back to saying I was pregnant, and now saying I wasn't pregnant. And so I literally felt like I was just getting bounced around like a basketball. It was an extremely hard day. Again, just, and knowing that I was alone. I know Spencer was on his way to me, but I never felt so alone. It felt so numb. And I had so much guilt, so much shame. Is it something I ate? Is it the way I slept? You just have all this guilt and shame just suppress me. And I had told Spencer to call my parents. I eventually got back to New York, and Spencer was there, and I just told him, can you please call my parents? Because again, I felt like I failed them, and I know I really needed a chain of prayers.
Your plans are for me, goodness you have in store. I know you hear me, I know you see me. Your plans are for me, goodness you have in store.
So in closing, music has also definitely been such a huge source of healing for me. That song, Thy Will Be Done by Hillary Scott, which you have heard through this vlog, I encourage you to listen to it. My sister-in-law actually informed me that Hillary had written this song because she also had a miscarriage as well, and so now I know why I just had like an emotional connection to that song, especially when I had my early miscarriage. And following with that, this dress is very, very sentimental to me. So every time I go out to my home state in California, when I go and visit my parents, we always hit up the thrift stores. And we had hit up one thrift store, and I don't know why, but I was completely drawn to this dress. And just to me, it signifies so much. There's like hearts, for love, and then there's red, which also to me signifies love, but it signifies Jesus' love and the blood that he shed and what he did on Calvary and on the cross for us. And I don't know, there's just deep unconditional love that I have to continue to hold on to, and to also just continue, I guess, just to have it weave it into my heart when I don't feel loved, or when I feel ashamed, or when I have guilt, especially from my early miscarriage. And knowing where that stands, so where my hope is anchored in it is his love. Knowing that my Jesus walked through this same earth and knows our hurts and pain. In that verse, he heals the brokenhearted, binds up their wounds, and he is close to the brokenhearted. And so I got this dress, and it was months later when I had my miscarriage. So so this dress just means so much to me. And recently I had told Spencer too that I don't know why, but I think we're gonna have a baby girl. So, but you know what? I'm just to continue to just have hope, and just to trust in the Lord and his promises. And I also just want to extend my deepest condolences to the women out there who have lost babies. Just know that I love you, and I'm so sorry. But know again that there is hope, and that your day will come, whether if you're trying for your first like me, or you're trying for your second, third, fourth, fifth, maybe sixth. But just know that I am here for you, and that there are communities out there, and I don't know why it's not shared so much, because so many women go through this, and I feel that there needs to be a healthy place where we can be able to talk about this, and to just continue to heal together, to grieve together, to mourn together, to unite together. And so, again, if you feel free, if you want to reach out to me, if you want to share your story, if you want to get it off your chest. Again, this is not just my story, but it's also about your stories out there, and how we can continue to heal together, and how we all can continue to move forward together. And I'm going to continue to share my story with whosoever wants to listen. And I'm just really thankful for, something like this, an outlet to where I can share something like this. And again, a special thank you to my friend Amy, who gave me this motivational push to share my story. And thank you again so much for just taking the time to watch. And again, I had a coworker tell me this, and it just really I hold it so deep in my heart, is nobody can tell you how to heal properly. Nobody can tell you how to grieve properly. If you want to hit up that tub of ice cream, you hit up that tub of ice cream. If you want to binge watch TV, you binge watch TV. If you want to cry, sob, weep, you do that. But nobody ever can interrupt your grieving process. Nobody can interrupt your time of grieving and healing. So, and that's something that I continue to share, and I will continue to share with others. Just to continue to move forward, and knowing that there is hope, and I can continue to ask God, why would this happen to me? Why would you allow it to happen to me? But instead, I just want to continue again, just to move forward, and knowing and sharing my story. And if my story at least just gives somebody hope, just one person out there, just one person, then again, with that song, it just states it so perfectly: thy will be done. And again, just knowing that what I've gone through, I know he works all things together for good, according to his purpose and according to his plan. And I'm just going to continue to have faith, because it is my middle name, and so I definitely feel that's something that I should continue to live out. But again, thank you so much for watching, and tune in. I have no idea what my next topic is going to be, but I'm anxious, but again, I'm just also thankful too that this time came, and for me to share it, and to also a special thank you to my family and friends out there for sharing their little joys with me. And I'm also thankful for being Auntie Mills. I have 2 nephews, 1 niece, and another niece on the way, so it's definitely something that I gotta praise Jesus for. And again, just thank you to all my friends and family members who share pictures with me, who Marco Polo me, who share texts with me of their beautiful joys. Just keep them coming, and just want to say thank you again so much. I love you all, and we'll talk soon. Alright, bye.